teammates, so that's good. They'll keep that one going. And actually, the money on Ghost isn't so hot now. They did have a lot of cash reserves, but had to spend quite a lot of that, so
this could be a
probably going to be
evening round
save here. Yeah, it's going to be no. Actually, going for the hero buys on a couple of players. All right, so Steel has. I like this actually. So Steel and Neptune have gone for the utility buy. They'll be left on pistols, but their utility buy means that their teammates don't have to buy utility. They can just buy guns, and they will use their grenades to try and set up their rifle mates. This could be something that Order aren't quite ready for. They may not expect them to have the guns here. I mean, they've still got that MP9 and EMAG, which fair enough has been working in the only rounds they've been winning, but
yeah,
this could still be a little bit unexpected here for Ghost, and it looks like it's going to be a hit out upper B mainly.
Well, it's confidence play from Ghost Gaming. They know that they win the majority of these gun rounds, so why not? Put a couple of guns in hands of your best performing players. Utility's out, but they don't see Hats down here. Gets the spray up, but Trade's not good enough there, especially when Wardell's involved. Damage down, but Alistair can't get up train. Blinded a little bit there, the push coming through. Ghost Gaming are here, but the flick around from Alistair takes down their star player. He peeks around once more, gets the headshot there, or maybe not. 2 for Alistair, still hanging behind Train. But look at where Order are. It's a 3 versus 2. Able to push back in, still peeks out. Alistair finds his 3rd. And Sub Rosa is left alone. He'll walk back onto uppers. And the platform might not work out too well for him. The Galil, oh boy, it's so disgusting. But even that works. Gets the defuse. No! Inns now has to play around with this. Sub Rosa somehow does it. That's a painful round if you're an Order fan.
That's a huge play from Sub Rosa, though. That's the one advantage that the Galil has for you over the AK-47. Those extra bullets. He didn't have to mess around with the reload there. Pre-fired the bomb planter perfectly. Or bomb diffuser, even. And that's the problem with the no smoke here. He goes for this first shoulder pick, spots the info, and gets the kill because there's no smoke. He can just shoot straight at the diffuser, and from here, with the bomb timer so low, this is so hard for Inns to win. It's just Sub Rosa playing with his food. It's perfectly executed from him. Puts Ghost at 6 and 4. Denies Order getting that tie-up round and denies the money as well. Their economy is straight back in the bin. Just the pistol buy here.
That was the round, Tim. The round that evens the score, that puts Order in a comfortable position to go forward, especially after Ghost forced. You know, they take, their 6th round is what you'd be looking at here. But again, Ghost are going to triumph ahead. 7 and 4. Oh, it caught me by surprise as I almost fall over. It caught me by surprise. What's there more to say, Tim? Not much. 7 and 4. And Ghost again, once again, showing their prowess at the very least here. Buy's going to come through now for Order, but before that, a timeout. And yes, do take a timeout after all that.
And you need one at this point. This is as much a chill-out timeout as anything, as once you get 1v3'd by Sub Rosa, you don't like to see that. So they will be taking a chance to have a breather and a chat, figure out exactly what they want to do with this buy.
Was it a 1v3 by someone on Na'Vi as well yesterday that caught Order by surprise? Wasn't simple, was it?
You're really stretching my memory here.
I feel
there was some good clutches, but
we had some great clutches yesterday, by the way, if you missed out.
I'm not landing on any specific one casting my mind back, but look, I'm sure there was one and I'm just forgetting. Been too busy thinking about this game.
To be fair though, a couple of those gun rounds, Inns had those clutch moments. Hats as well joined in. So
here's something new for you, Jake.
Go for it, man.
Alistair on a P90. Woohoo! Going to be just being a speedy boy. He's going to go straight in through uppers. There'll be a flashbang to support him here as well. He's just going to go straight in, try and catch them out.
He's sick of the crap.
See if it works out for him, though, as once again goes through on a good buy. Neptune limited to a Galil, but it's more to conserve some money. They did have enough money on multiple players to buy him an AK if he wanted one. It's just conserving wealth.
Ghost aren't saying goodbye yet, Tim. Definitely not this round, or at least this map. It's not over.
I mean, yeah. You're not wrong, they certainly aren't.
Thanks, mate.
See what Order have got for us, though, on this defense. Certainly they're the ones who need to be making the plays here.
Oh, yeah.
Nice bit of smoke cam.
That's the angle when they show it. When they throw it, that's the one. Oh, there we go. Thank you, MC.
So Ali's plan at this point is just to chill out close to the smoke and hope that people jump into him. His teammates 4-stacked over on the A bomb side. It's a gamble, but Ghosts have pretty rarely gone B The only times they really have been in man-down situations when it just makes sense to go for that one. So we'll see. There's the opening kill on B for Alistair with the P90, and there's two players ready to crunch on this Ivy push. Will they check ins properly? They certainly should, but they don't. He manages to get one. The trades come through for both teams, but it leaves it in a 2v3, and Ali, already pushing aggressive, will be caught out trying to trade out his guns and upgrade. That gives Steele and Wardell a chance to get back into things here. There's 2v2. Zeph in a critical position here. Hat's not anywhere that he can help him, and unfortunately for Zeph, he has been spotted. Steele plays it perfectly, plays the bait game, lets Wardell in to get the kill. That is the bomb down, though. Hats can try and play this one, and with 15 seconds left, there's so little time to work with. Hat's actually just going to double back, try and get into Connor tonight. This bomb plant Steele, he's going to have to go for the safe plan on the other side of the train, and I think he will make it across there in time. Hats won't be able to stop him.
Hats peeks forward, bomb will go down like he said, Steele goes left, Hats goes right, the peek around, Hats wins it out. An important round for Order. He's going to go and pick up a kit. Or an AWP. No, okay. Sorry, he already had a kit.
Did indeed.
I was like...
The big sniper rifle in hand.
He's like, oh, I got to go get the P90, that's what I'm going to do. But of course, the AWP comes into favour of Order once more. 5 and 7. So, not out of the woods yet, Ghost Gaming. And Train was their map pick. Now it's their turn to take a tack timeout. What will they say? Boys, should we get a P90? And the answer, of course, will be no.
Yeah, I'd be pretty surprised if that was the game plan. But maybe, in the meantime, though, I think really for Ghost, that one just comes down to the timing not quite going their way in that 2v2. They did have that bait and switch set up perfectly to get the opening kill into the bomb site. It was just Hats striking for an unexpected angle and playing the timing to perfection there to be able to pick up that one.
Around him.
It's a lot of... There's a lot of it. There is lots of average damages happening in the average round.
Yes. Well...
How's that for some expert statistical analysis for you?
Yeah, I mean, 118 is, you know, better than a shrimp on the barbie, I reckon. Prawn, sorry.
Sacrilege.
Yeah. See, steak, prawn, sausages, ladies and gentlemen. You want to be an Australian? Get into those. Get that in there.
Hopefully 20 to 8 at the same time. Either way, Ghost... Guns in hand. Again, they're going for the fast play. This has been the change-up for them. Every time that Order get a round happening, Ghost immediately go quickly. Ali, an ambitious flick, but nothing landed. Will have to fall back. His teammates are rotating, but will it be fast enough as Ghost already flooding in, and they found the opening frags.
And it's all gone wrong for Order. Off the back of that miss, confidence strikes again. Ghost just push hard into the B-bomb site. And Order are left wondering once more. Tim, you caught it so well before. Order pick up a round. Ghost come back in with the gun round, and it's hard and fast. Everybody loves it.
I actually really do like that. I mean, the problem is, they're not just saying, all right, they win a round, we rush B. They win a round, we rush A. They do seem to have this protocol of, all right, they win a round, we go fast. Yeah. But they don't just, you know, buy SMGs and run through a smoke with 2 pop flashes. They have multiple of these rush strats preset and ready to go, and from what it seems from the outside, as soon as Order win a round, Steele just picks one and says, alright, I think they're weak here, we're going to go fast here, we haven't done this yet. There's of course a lot that goes into deciding what you're going to do, but he makes the call, it works perfectly, Order get reset immediately, their money gets no chance at all to develop. Look at their money now, they have nothing, they win a round, goes to immediately reset them straight up, and now, this round, if they're going to hold true to the form and the protocols that they've showed us previously, this will be another slow one. They'll go back to their more default style, go for more split picks, see what they can find out. Let's see what they've got for us. But the fast round does work wonders for them. And yeah, there it is. They're already splitting up. So this one won't be quite as quick. We'll be back to that slower round now, but they're keeping Order guessing. Order can't go for these gamble stacks anymore, because they're being caught out every single time. Sub Rose is quick, though, and he's found the opener onto Zeph.
Yeah, keeping them guessing like this. I mean, the hard push through still was a little bit fast. Ins left with Alistair on site. Now, Alistair only has his eagle in hand. Bit of armor on the side of Order, but with the hard push through here, Sub Rose up. Not expected there. Ins actually gets a shot. Right down on the head. Imagine as well. The Deagle and Alistair comes in handy too. Emag doesn't find that one. Kusta pushes up to Sniper's Nest. And Wardell's left by himself. How Order keep bringing back these rounds, I have no idea.
Well, I think we all know what's going to happen here if Wardell loses this one. Going to be a...
I like the if there as well after what we saw before.
I mean, Hats does have the angle. This should be a superior position. This should grant him this frag, but he does choose to go back time. So Wardell, while he won't know that Hats is down there, he is going to get the freedom to go over. But Instead, an ambitious no-scope going to drop down the ladder and try and find something. That nade might just put pay to it. He has to go past it, and he can't get it done. Now, we head into round 15. I'm going to take a stab. Given that we've seen this protocol of Ghost just going very quickly as soon as Order win a round, and especially given that there's not enough money to buy into anything substantial here, they're going to go for utility pistols. They'll be able to buy a couple of AKs. With those pistols, they need somewhere close range. So, in my mind, they're either looking at something like a push into B down lower ramp through a smoke or something, or they're going to explode out through Ivy. Maybe even a pop dog play. They do have the scout and the AK to give them a bit of range advantage.
I reckon Order by now, though, they've got a bit of Ghost number. You know, like, they're not on top of Ghost yet, but it feels like Order should be reading some of these plays a little better by now. As we come to the last round in the first half, Tim, what I'm excited about is the fact that Order have showed more competition here on Train. They've showed better performance, better reactive play than they did over on Cache.
Yeah.
On Cache, they weren't reacting at all. It just felt like they're a little bit sloppy. The push now coming out here from Ghost Gaming, but Smoke's work out in favour of Inns. He gets a double. Inns still there and alive, but still eventually shutting him down. Steph getting the pick on top, but he pops his head up a little bit too far. Left with a 3v3 up into Snipers. Then Kusta going to have to take this trade away, but Alistair drops back down.
And that will be Ghost recalibrating now, heading over to the B bomb site. Hats will get here to stop them, and there's no smoke to stop him from doing this. But instead he's going to go and play the cross game. He will get one, spots the damage, and the molly out to deny that bomb plant. That's going to put Ghost in a pretty difficult situation now. It's a crucial duel to be won, though, and they do get it. Kusta finds a headshot onto a pushing Alistair. And now it's all up to EMAG. 1 versus 2. Neptune left low, but Ghost, they've shown amazing resilience to recover all of these situations in which they have a disadvantage. They've made all of them competitive. And it's up to EMAG, the captain of Order here, to try and bring this one back. The first kill will be given to him, and Kusta's up high.
Yeah, that shot's huge. EMAG gets the second. Order's ability to clutch in situations ain't half bad as well. EMAG, there's the bomb, mate. Have a ball. Order putting up a bit of a fight here on Train, more than we expected. We thought Train was going to be the blowout in this series. We thought Train was going to be Ghost map no matter what. But reactive play here from Order. And they're starting to read a bit more of what Ghost is saying.
I'm kind of a bit wonder if these two teams have actually scrimmed each other in the last week. Of course, there's no way for us knowing.
We could ask,
for us to know. It's really hard to speak words, but I'm not going to ask because the players are busy playing.
If there's
right
someone
now,
from Order in the chat, we'd love to know.
They won't be because they'll all be there watching their team play. Either
Jake's
way, I'm not sure if these two teams will have screened each other. If they have, I wouldn't be surprised if they did. They might even have had Train come up in the pool. But either way, it does look like Order are getting a little bit caught off guard by what Ghost are doing. They didn't really... I mean, it's super hard to adjust to the fact that, you know, like, if you think to yourself, yes, when we run around, they're going to rush us. Great, that's good in theory, but your only ways of dealing with that are either you stack a bomb site and hope the one that they rush is that one, or just you being scared of that rush means that you have to burn a whole bunch of utility early on. And Ghost could be aware of that as well. They think, right, if they adjust, they're going to burn a whole ton of utility. Either way, though, it's pistol time.
Oh, this is fast here from Ghost. EMAG gets one, he gets a second. Boy, oh boy, that's what you want. Wardell pushed all the way back through Ivy. He's on the chase. Play Benny Hill. It's bloody yakety sacks here to start us off, and Order in the pistol round. 2 opening frags, Tim. Good sign as always. The third, steal. Evens up the score a little bit. Kusta. See you, mate.
At least in a 4v2 now, Steel and Wardell to bring it back. Still the kit and the smoke in the hands of Steel, so they can get themselves one more frag here and lessen some of this pressure. Then maybe that defuse can be attempted. It's a very open plant, though, for all the members of Order to defend. That's a great adjustment, but now it's all up to Steel. And while he is able to get onto this bomb, he just has to try and go for the stick at this point. They know that he's there. Nothing that could be done.
Pistol
it will be immediately
rounds.
Order tying it straight back up as they've taken 3 out of 4 pistols so far this series.
Have they? Yep. They lose a pistol. Oh, they did.
They won CT pistol.
They lost CT.
Both teams won CT pistol on Cache. They won CT pistol here, and they've just won T-side pistol.
I thought they lost CT pistol on Cache and won T-sided pistol.
No,
oh, no, you're right.
CT
pistol. Yeah, no, they dropped T pistol. All right. When you're right, Tim.
Sometimes.
When you're right, mate. You're always right. Don't doubt yourself. 8-8, though. You know what I'm right about? The fact that this game ain't over. The fact that Order, if they can win a gun round to start us off, you'd have to hope. Steel and Kusta both bought scouts in this round. That's going to be disadvantageous for Inns. Big shot going on to Alistair as well. Krista and Neptune. Neptune pushing up here. It's not going to expect him. The Deagle does not work wonders in this situation. Already down one member. But those scouts still alive, Tim.
And those scouts can really do damage. They don't even need to get headshots here necessarily. But if those scouts can get 70 tags onto... They've already done it on 2 different players. If they can hit one more player down to 70, then all of a sudden, those pistols, or down 470 even, those pistols are going to have a really easy time mopping this up. Gustav, risky games in the smoke, but he'll spot both of them. Goes for a body tag, can't convert it, but did the damage. Unfortunately, though, Steel's teammates have fallen around him. He's left in a 1-on-5, and while 3 of these players are low, they've all got guns, they've all got util. At best, he's going to be looking for a couple of exit frags here, trying to keep the money on the T side honest, which is certainly worth doing, but that said, the CT side economy is a fickle beast. You don't want to sacrifice money into the pit of getting reset endlessly any more than you have to, so Steel will most likely just try and hold on to this scout, do some more damage with it next round, and then have the gun round follow after that.
This round's definitely gone how we expected it for Order. You know, the second round's always fine, but it's that third round. It's that round where Ghost buy their full set. Next round might be a little bit different. Of course, being on the CT side, you're not going to get the mystery meat. Is that what they call it? No, definitely not. But anyway, let's call it mystery meat, folks. Why not? You know, live a little. Not enough funds there, unless they really want to force out and confident they can take it to Order. So Order might take the lead in this series. Well, they already have, or take the lead in this map, I should say. So attack timeout comes through from Ghost. And now, Order the third round, whether it's a buy or not for Ghost. That has been their weakness. If they could charge ahead in this on this map, then maybe we look at our third.
Maybe
Optimistic.
Maybe. I mean, it's still... This game is very much up in the air. Order have won both pistols. They should be up 10-8 after this. Like, the win conditions for Ghost in this round are really... Steel either getting 4 body tags or 2 or 3 headshots and allowing the pistols to do the rest. Like, he's the only gun. No one else is even going to invest into a pistol. They want all the util on the round.
Flashing over mid.
Maybe we should just go disc him out.
Does he push?
Mid ramp. Hopping, yeah.
He's up and con.
He's not CT, so he's set again.
Oh no.
Dude, what is that?
130. Everyone's dead. Oh lord.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
I have to do some damage.
Later, Ryan.
I can drop. You just take it easy.
I think we should just execute B late.
130 into 1v5.
Yeah.
So I ran up mid last time. Do something with that again. Gonna help B.
Flashing mid.
I'm playing anti. Molly top mid, might be pushing.
Flashing
Flash
again.
B. Nice. I got B. I'm through.
One scat.
I'm on. Get right.
I'm throwing a late flash.
Dead.
I smoke get left. I'm holding under.
Holding market.
Close under.
Hasn't crossed market yet.
Underpass.
2 market.
He's hit
He's
market.
still underpass.
I'm smoking door.
Underpass. Dude, he kills me there. Underpass.
One more market.
One
I
more
think the
market.
guy cast low, Alex.
Good bomb.
Yeah, that guy cast low.
Yeah, I'm kinda. He's pushing me.
That guy's low,
Flash,
low,
flash,
low.
flash.
Like, one hit. He's one hit.
Bomb.
Literally one.
Stop.
Yes. What?
This guy jumps off
I hit
the
him
fucking
once.
window, bro. I'm so done.
Here,
I was mollied out. I couldn't do anything. That's why I was
Pass
there.
off to him. I don't know. He like got out like so wide. I could fucking shoot him.
Just keep going B, I think. Smoked under.
He can be.
No time mid smoke.
It might aggress mid. I'm flashing.
Yo, he's underpants.
Okay.
We're pushing top mid.
I'm holding it. Can we clear it
On
out?
this side. If someone
Yeah,
comes
here.
to
I'll
me.
come flash for you.
I think we should
Ready?
just go B.
Underhanding?
Maybe in the corner. I'm Amalia.
He might have.
He's jump spotting B. Here, let me pick him. Hold this.
Also marketing.
He's hit. 1 HP.
Flashing
Am I?
over.
Backside, bench.
Good. I didn't clear sight.
I have mid.
Guard one cat.
I'll try to cover
Default.
you.
Unless he's already cat, he can't get cat.
Holding market. I didn't clear bench or anything like that.
Someone's knifing towards A.
That's me.
By the way, I'm myself. No, I heard someone on my left. Actually, maybe it was.
Market.
On with he got
Both today.
He's door
Over
still.
here.
Outdoor, I think.
God, fuck. He zoomed me.
Here, I got shot. This guy's 17 and
That's
6, bro.
A smokes? Can we A smokes? And Palace guy, remember to
I'll
molly
smoke
block?
top mid. Yeah, I'll go pass. Yeah, I got
I
molly.
got-
I got
Okay.
CT.
I'll do bottom stair. Yeah, we're good then. Someone got a molly for bench.
I'll do it.
I'm
smoking
molly
now.
triple. Let's smoke at 35.
Bro, I'm gonna run out with the smokes.
I got 2 flashes.
Molly
Flashing
under.
behind. Flashing above ramp. Flashing above ramp.
One more close, one more close.
Connor's cat.
There's a
That's
gap in
jungle.
CT. Connor.
Dead.
Top jungle side.
Sam, are you still 8x6?
Don't hold A ramp.
Yeah.
Opportunity.
I got it.
You on
960.
stretch?
Yeah.
Are you done with the breeze movement?
That's his res, bro.
No, I just played
Market,
him
market,
yesterday.
left
Into our blacklist.
Bro, this guy switches every day.
What the fuck? How is he still that good?
You want the seagull? 3 days ago he was on native.
God.
I'm so immediate. What do you mean?
Don't flash me A ramp.
I got it.
I'll call for
Yeah,
it.
keep going. I'm gonna go like tunnel.
Flash. Triple. Low. We can set up ace smokes again.
I already used one for top mid, so some or someone else.
Open jungle, open stair. B throwing?
I have
He's scoping stuff.
spawn.
Top stair, top stair.
Can we just do
You wanna
right
do
side?
stairs?
Can you just do stairs?
Okay, I got stairs.
I'm all under bell corner, bro.
Ready? Smoking. I got flashes above ramp. Flashing above ramp. Flashing above ramp again.
Default.
Flash on default.
One stairs, shot.
On bench.
There's a gap in the bench smoke.
Dead mid.
One stair still. I have a spawn, bro. Just fine.
I'm dead.
Brozo is off and con.
Dead.
Dead.
You guys a B player.
Spawn. So I pre-fired.
The house down here, 12 and 8.
And now starting to pull ahead on train. This lead is working out quite well for them. There is still money on Ghost to get a bit of a reinvestment here. Behind that AWP of Wardell, he can drop a gun out with 6,200 in the bank for himself. But Order now, 4 rounds in the lead. Their economy is set. They're good to buy twice more if they lose these next couple rounds. So they can keep the pressure up on Ghost until they're almost equalizing the score. Speaking of Ghost, they do have enough to reinvest if they get the dropout from Wardell, but it's going to be a bit of a rough one. They won't have the utility to go alongside it. They won't have that many kits either. With the dropping of the AWP over to Steel, though, I'm assuming that there will be this reinvestment. It hasn't happened yet, but they've had the tack pause. Surely it's coming. There it is. Going to get the buys happening now. They're actually keeping the double AWP out. Wardell invested in another for himself. Steel with the one that was dropped to him. And this buy is actually better than I thought it would be. There's a lot of utility. They've got the double AWP. Ghost immediately ready to strike back here.
I have a lot of confidence that if Order can win this round and push that economy into a stray for Ghost Gaming, then we're looking at our third map. And we're looking at a map that could favour Order, but again, we still have to get there. Still push up so aggressively here on ramp. But towards B, Hat's lurking, bombs now here. A lot of damage from the HE nade, but he pokes out and Kusta's not ready for it. One early frag. No one moving from Ghost Gaming just yet. 3 members on A. If the B push comes through, it's going to take a little while. But it hasn't started just yet. Steel sitting here with this AWP is going to be everything. A good flash out, but still misses the opening shot. Reoccurs it onto Zeph. Doesn't get the second there. Hats onto Steel. Now able to push through. Order. This is their round to possibly take us to a third map. It comes down to this, bomb down again. Hat's pushing through the smoke, but Inns has just dropped on the side there. It's Sub Rosa who's trying to clean it up, but Alistair peeks out. Imagine again getting the coercive shot. And Sub Rosa is left alone. What an island now for Ghost Gaming. And Tim, you didn't want to believe, but Order, soon they'll make a believer out of you.
Going to get themselves a 13th round here. What do you mean?
No, you're just not going to be like, well, you know, they could do it. You're like, still 5 rounds of difference, and I get your realism right now. There's, you know, it's not over.
I will
till the
believe
fat
when
lady
we see
sings.
map 3. I have faith in Order. I've watched them play a lot, but given the standard of play that we've seen so
Ding
far
dong.
from Ghost, I'll believe when we see map 3. I do think Order can get us to map 3,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to put anything on paper until we see map 3. That said, though,
Gonna take
the
risks,
money...
man.
Sorry, what was that?
Gonna take risks, you know?
Don't
You
like
just gotta
taking
go
risks.
for it. Like, just be a hooligan.
Let's see if Ghost will take risks here. They're looking to force in around this gun from Sub Rose. They're going to go for it again. They're determined to keep the pressure up any way that they can. 3 pistols, the save down 4A1, a scout for Wardell, dropped from one of his teammates, I do believe, so that he can buy an AWP and armor in the next round. So they are future planning here, future proofing. And Wardell, certainly no slouch with the scout. But Order, as you say, it's new life in their veins here. They're looking a lot more confident now on their T side of this map as they move over towards this B bomb site. 2 players lay in wait, and both with the pistols as well. The rifles are elsewhere on the map. We'll see if Ghost are able to hold this one off. But Order, this is a round that should be theirs for the taking. Not saying will, saying should. They do spot out Kusta though. He spots out them. The rotation's not going to come in. Order flooding onto the B bomb side.
So much utility there, but Zeph just walked into the P250. A second shot from Kusta. He's still alive. Order have just walked past him. Kusta gets a 4K. What the hell was that? Steel will go down, but Inns is left in a 1v3. Where was the communication from all? I'm so sorry to be a mean man. But at that point, you don't know what's going on. Inns 1v2, but the last two members of Ghost Gaming have guns. And that may just haunt Order in the long run. Inns has to recover this round for Order. The bomb is sitting on the B bomb site. 30 seconds to get the plant down. Has no information across where Ghost are. He goes for the peek out. He's now down. Bomb's there. They do spot him out, but they don't know where Sub Rosa is. And he's the one that finishes the round. 13-9 Ghost Gaming. They just got that round delivered to them. Oh, Uber Eats never tasted so good.
I'm just going to let this clip speak for itself. I don't
man.
really need to offer much in the way of analysis.
Take a damn time out after that.
For Order, I mean, look, it's one of those situations where that's the one time out of probably 5 where you run through a smoke and you get punished that hard. But it's just that situation where you really don't want to be punished that hard. They're still up by 4 rounds, but Ghost's money was in the bin. They were going to be able to get a buy together here, but it still would have been shoddy if they hadn't managed to get that many kills. But the combination of the flashbangs and Order feeding themselves to Kusta one by one, we've already seen on Cache that he's more than happy to take these spray downs one player at a time if they're presented to him, and he's more than happy to deliver in this instance. That will be the double AWP out for Ghost now. That will be their money saved. They've got full utility, a couple kits. Order, they've had the timeout to cool themselves off, and I think they needed it.
At least Order still have money in the bank to buy through this round. They need to recover now, but they're going up against full guns, like you said, and Alistair's already being chucked out here on this AWP. A bit of damage across. That pushes through the smoke, and it's Wardell that punishes Order. So much damage across, and Ghost Gaming look to be back in their stride. The molly's through onto Neptune. Damage coming through, the spray through the smoke. Neptune lives, though, and that's the difference. Still stuck in a 4v5. How favourable for Order. Maybe not the question I should ask at this point, because we don't know how favourable things are for Order. The 5 round difference. 4? I can't count. Doesn't matter. Imagine, this is the push that Order want to take. Now waiting for Neptune. Is it going to be a wide peak? It is, but not spotted out. Imagine gets caught. Alistair comes through on the AWP as well. Hats was alive until he wasn't. Sub Rosa jumps back down, but Alistair looking to save now, or at least pick up the bomb, get that plant down, and get out of there.
He's got to go back for this. It's like they're at the situation where they do have enough money that they can rebuy this AWP if they lose it, and it is worth this attempt to try and keep Ghost's money low.
That's a start.
That is a good start indeed. He's going to go out to the AK now. They're actually low enough that this is doable for Alistair here. Both of these players, just one hit from that AK, he finds the first on the steal. 1v2, face it, trying to try Neptune, he almost gets it done. Neptune to recover it on 2 health. But Alistair keeps it expensive, the money. It's going to be good enough to get the reinvestment happening, but at least it keeps pressure up on Ghost. It's worth doing at this point in this game. Now, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. I don't want to...
You're going to bring me down, Tim?
I'm not going to bring you down. I'm just going to ask the audience to cast their minds back to a similarly impactful 4K against Order. And I am Sydney this year. I'm not going to name anyone in particular, not going to name any names. I'm just going to let everyone mull that one over and think about the last time that a massive 4K changed the game for Order. Yeah. Just a bit of context if this one doesn't go their way. Insto will find the first entry, immediately traded, but still, Sub Rosa. A massive 3K from E-Box.
Hey, he just got away with murder again. Kusta pushes through. And now Zeph is down. 1v3. This might not work out whatsoever. Kusta sprays through the smoke. Now see where Hats actually is. In a 1v2. Can this 1v2 change the pace? You're hoping again. You don't want this to be the way it ends for Order. You just don't. Not spotting out. Sub Rosa ends with 4 kills that round. And he got the entry onto the A-bomb site. If this is a pause for Order, I mean, I'll take it now. You got one more. Surely this is not the way it ends. 13-11. The economy absolutely rooted for Order.
The pause will be next round. This round, they may well use this round as a pause to have a chat about things while they're on the pistols. But the pause will be before the next gun round. Surely it has to be. Ghost Kusta gifts them around, and they haven't.
I don't even think
go
Kusta
of the
gifted it to the. I feel
Order
like it's,
gifted it to Kusta, who gifted it to his team, right?
Yeah.
It's a series of re-gifting, which nobody likes a re-gifter, but we'll allow it this time. Either way, Ghosts have not let go of the throttle since that round, and they're not looking to do it here. Order, this round, not expecting too much from them with just the pistols. But the next round, it'll be 13-12. Ghost one away from tying it up as the frags start to tick in what is just an anti-pistol bite. Nice spray from Neptune there as well. The next round is the one that matters. This one here. This is where the pause should be for Order. They do have the money to buy into this, and they've lost a couple rounds in a row now, so they will be able to get some decent guns happening next round, I believe, but it's so close.
I think Order just want to get through it, Tim. At this point, they just want to get through this map. They had, again, this will be the last time you hear me talk about it, it was momentum, it was the push through in the later half of this map. Things started looking good with that 5-6 round lead for Order, but just caught out. And Ghost Gaming now with one round in their sights to equalise again with Order. The push through into ladder room doesn't work out for Sub Rosa, and Zeph is able to get through. The rest of Order now pushing into the A bomb site, but holding for now with that opening frag. Ghost Gaming have to react. Where do they go? Kusta has the angle here. He sees the molly go past. He's waiting with the FAMA. Headshot needed, doesn't find it. 2 kills for Order. Tim, this is good. Getting back on track, but they have to deal with Wardell and the AWP.
Zach, with that, there's still more work to be done. And they are still looking like they want to go over towards the A bomb site here, given the position of that explosive device in question. Hatstow finds Steel. Neptune needs 3 here. He finds 2. Wardell gets another, but he's left 1 versus 2. Speaking of which, one player above him on the ladder, Molotov at his feet. 1 on the side of E-Box, and it's ins to hit a blinder. 3K for him. In a round where Order so desperately needed it, but
Tim, not
Ghosts
again.
aren't out of this yet. They've still got the money.
Not again. If I see another 16-14,
You might.
like,
You just might.
all right, Order. You got Australian crowd backing you right now. Ghost Gaming have come through this, and I've got to say they've had some pristine rounds. Let's not forget how good Ghost have looked. But Order take the lead, or at least push with the lead once again. Can they hold it? Economy was still good enough here, but for Ghost Gaming, they've had a full buy, limited utility on the defensive here in the A-bomb site. And Order just need this next round. That'll be their setting point, and that'll push them towards the match.
Still, though, everything hangs in the balance. 1 round either way could be enough to change this one. Wardell misses the open of it, recovers it with another. Sub Rosa gets involved too, and now it's starting to fall apart.
Oh, wow.
It's all up to EMAG just like that. Ghost winning the individual aim duels when it's necessary here. And EMAG's been spotted out. A 1v4 with very little presence to bomb it down in a very untenable position for him. EMAG finds 1, almost a second, but it's Neptune to save it. 3 players and guns stay up for Ghost. They keep it competitive, and they've broken the money of the T side.
Oh, we're going to see a 14-14, Tim. That's the most likely consequence of that last round, and we are not done just yet. How annoying has Neptune and Wardell been? And Sub Rosa in these past couple of rounds has just been getting these entry frags alongside the AWPer for Ghost Gaming. And if we go to overtime here, it's going to be close or it's going to be a blowout. I'm not sure what to name it at this point. But Wardell can't get the opening frags there. It might not matter too much this round. Giving time to Order to think, process what has happened so far, and they need to get in the zone.
I think no matter what else you want to say about this game, Jake, close is something that nobody will doubt you on. This has been a brilliant map too. After the first map was very one-sided.
Yeah.
This round, speaking of one-sided, is going to be just that. There's nothing that really Ins and Ali can hope to do with the Glocks.
Well, let's take a step back because you're exactly right. Over on Cache, Order looked flimsy. And excuse me, because, I'm an Australian. I'm not trying to bag out Order.
No, but they got 16-5.
There was,
allowed to say they look flimsy.
Absolutely flimsy. Well, I'm used to casting a game where I can't really bag out players or, bag out organizations. But, but here I am. So, against Ghost Gaming as well, you're talking top 30 in the world. You're talking one of the best top teams.
Certainly one of the best North American teams at the
Correct.
moment.
Yeah.
Given that Cloud9 are cheekily European at the moment. All right, here is the timeout. This is the final one for Order. This is where they need it. Have a look at this money as well. Bearing in mind that it's $3,700 to get AK and armor, $5,750 to get the AWP and armor. They can't go an AWP as well unless they decide to glass cannon, and they haven't really relied on AWPs on their T side, so fair enough. But the point that I'm trying to make is they're going to get guns, they're going to get armor, but the utility is not going to be the greatest for them.
Yeah.
And so far, the best success they've really had has been using what little utility they can find to buy themselves space. Either that or it's just been triple committing to an angle and overwhelming whatever Ghost players they can find. So we'll see what approach they go for. They do manage to get a couple sets of utility out, but Ghost certainly in the superior position in terms of the buy. They've got 2 AKs on the CT side, an AWP in Wardell's hand, who has been no slouch with that, sitting at 20 frags so far this game. And Ghost showing no signs of slowing, but neither are Order. Zeph incredibly quick, but the frags ticking through for the CTs. Emags get the first trade in a 2 versus 4.
Way too quick there for Order. Left with 2 people left standing, and Imagine just takes a massive chunk here from the HE nade. Pushes through the smoke anyway. Wardell's up in Sniper's Nest. The AWP shot does miss. The second one too. This should be cleaned up by Emag, but he can't get the final spray off. And Alistair's left alone. Ghost Gaming will walk towards match point here most likely, unless Alistair can do anything. Oh, it's just the story of Order coming so close. Will it be a rinse and repeat of them against Na'Vi yesterday? Will it be a 2-0 by Ghost Gaming? So many questions right now, but not a lot of answers.
Fortunately, Jake, those answers are coming shockingly soon. There is one more round in regulation after Alistair falls to steal there. There is potentially, well, many, many more in overtime if we make it, but Order have to get us to overtime with the worst buy that they've had in a lot of rounds now. They're going to get pistols, armor, SMGs, maybe. Potentially they could glass, like someone could drop an AK to someone else, like maybe Emag chooses to buy nothing, but instead, this is what they're left with. 2 UMPs, 3 CZ75s, a bunch of utility, but it's going up against a Ghost full buy, and the Ghost full buys have been more than adequate so far this series, this map. It's been so close, but Order, they are inches away from falling at the final hurdle, and not like this. They're going to commit one by one through a smoke again into B, and Kusta is still more than ready for this.
I mean, this time he doesn't get the 3 spray down. At least they get the trade. At least they're going to get the bomb plant down, but the push is coming through hard from Ghost Gaming. In the back of sight of Train, Alistair now has to stop this push through. Incy, Wincy, Doe, and Wardell hasn't made it through, but eventually gets the tag down. And Hats has to make something happen. It's a 4 versus 3. He sees the small peak, hops on top of Train, gets the angle, but can't get steal. Emag and Inns are holding high, but they try to get back on site, and Order, they're going to lose again. They almost stopped the defuse. Ghost Gaming even pull back. It's going to be a 16-14 again, Tim. And Order, it is a crippling story. They will be eliminated here from the ESL Pro League. 2-0 by Ghost Gaming. A crippling story at that.
So very close by Order, but Ghost, I was reluctant to believe in Order the whole time because I thought Ghosts still had it. Look, Order, I love you boys, but Ghost showed, they played with class that whole time. They had the aim on, they had everything working in their favor, even when everything else went against them, and still they were coming into all of these rounds with a game plan in mind that was obvious, even when they were just getting out-aimed, out-entried by the T side of Order in the latter stages of this game. They still looked like they had a pretty good handle on things, and then, look, Jake, I'm not going to lie. It was that Kusta 4K. The moment I saw that, any belief that I had in Order, it was immediately replaced by this little voice in the back of my head going, that's not the greatest of signs, and unfortunately for Order, it was very well
It was
fought,
this as well, Tim, like Sub-Rosa with the 1v3.
I mean, this was much earlier on, but
I
it's
hate
just...
Galils.
No, you don't, Jake. You don't like Australian teams losing. It's all right, mate. You will get used to that. You'll get used to the Australian teams not doing as well, perhaps as we would like, but nonetheless...
I said Galils, not Australian teams, but that's all right,
I know, but either way, it's all cause and effects. But, that said, I'm not here to bag on Order. That is not my job. They certainly played well. They got 14 rounds against Na'Vi. They did get beaten out on Cage pretty handily, but managing to almost complete it against Ghost here. And then, credit where it's due. Ghost Gaming coming back from 13 to 8 down in map number 2. It's this 4K that starts to turn it there. Massive plays from Kusta. And from there, it didn't really look like it ever got too dangerous for them. Well, welcome back.
Yeah.
But I mean, they looked composed the whole time. Even in situations where they were that far down, they were looking for the advantages, looking for the situations that they needed. And they will be continuing in the lower bracket order. The first team eliminated on our stream. You know who else is joining them, Jake?
Who?
How's this for an upset? Remind everyone, what was the score when we casted MIBR vs Sharks yesterday?
That was 16-5. 16-4. I don't know. 16.
Keep going down. It was 16-2.
16-2.
And I don't say this is a test of your memory. I say it because if you've been watching our stream in this exciting game, and I certainly wouldn't blame you, Sharks just knocked out North. 16-4, 16-7.
Obviously, Sharks got better after after losing to MIBR.
That's a bit of a disappointing one for North, but as I didn't watch the game, I only checked the scores quickly in the middle there. I'm not going to offer too much commentary on it, but that's our first real upset so far of the Pro League finals.
Yes. And especially when we just saw what we just saw. I mean, there was potential for upsets everywhere. Unfortunately, Order will be knocked out, but in that best of three, we got to see quite a lot of the knockers, you know? Like that. Never going to say that again. I apologise.
It's all right. No one knows outside Australia. Move on.
No. Yeah, no. Obviously jargon. But a 2-0 in the end there. I mean, on Cage, it was defined so easily, Tim. And I think going forward, we now say, right, that lower bracket run is going to be a little bit more difficult if teams drop down there.
Yeah, it certainly will. But I think Ghosts, they showed a much better face than obviously they did against Mouse yesterday. So they will be, I think, in pretty good form to continue this lower bracket one forward. And unfortunately, we must say goodbye. And I suppose this sounds kind of weird, but we must say welcome home to Order.
Oh, well, farewell. There's still a good performance there from Order. We are going to have a short break. When we return, we're coming back with another best of three. If you like the Renegades, well, stick around. The lower bracket run continues right after this.
Logitech G.
Решили укрепить лонг авиком и АК, который просматривает центр, защищаясь вас напротив подхода через душевые.
Buy back.
Yeah, I think we buy here.
Okay.
I'm just gonna play under balcony.
This guy's like bottom con by the time I'm getting cut. I don't know how that's happening.
You're smoking a window.
I'm flashing
Yeah,
over
no, I
mid.
know. You're flashing maybe.
One ramp with an up. One ramp off. He thinks I cross.
Nothing mid. Add mid.
Just bait me.
Didn't hear anything
I
up
don't know
there.
about.
They walk up palace.
One cross to mid. Can you boost me, please?
Yeah.
Actually, never mind. We're good. I'm gonna go away.
Smoke top con.
Yeah,
Careful
yeah.
cat.
Blood A now.
They're mauling and shit mid. They can be on mid now. Yeah, they flashed off cat.
Might be top con.
You guys clear A ramp. I'm gonna flash it.
Yeah, flash it.
Flashing.
They can get cat window in window.
Gonna just pop for B.
Upstairs.
Yeah, I should, yeah.
Popping cat.
It looks like it's a speed split.
Yeah,
I'm going B.
Popping cat as well.
What's rushing up in B?
He's already peeking.
One setting.
2 months so now I'm
One up cat.
Two get right, two
They
get
switched
one
to
upper.
3 months.
Two get one upper.
He box.
I'm flanking upper B.
One bench.
Nothing. Two cross.
Get right.
One's get right. Can you guys just make noise? Nice.
Just wait for
Yeah,
something.
I'm upper B.
Once default, like jump box. Like cat.
Cat in the middle of sight.
Dead side.
One more sight, one more
Middle sight dead.
Might be
Bench,
down.
bench.
Bench.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Well played, Gus.
Stress that comes
2
Oh
p.m.
my god. I'm gonna die by the time I'm 30. Jesus Christ. My hair's going.
Bro, I was flanking with a P250.
Yeah, you think that guy.
User left your channel.
Instantly.
Bro, that thing's a fucking sniper.
my computer. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
What's up, yeah?
My My computer just like froze, and now I can't even click to get into this next game.
Yes.
I never make it. I never make
I
it.
missed it. I think I might call it though, cause I need to do something later. I kind of want to take a little break.
It's okay, Alex. You won 750, buddy.
I know, but I want another goddamn 750. I want all the
That's true.
750s
This
in
is
the
true.
world, bro.
This is true.
That's how you feel. That's how it feels, man.
It's getting really scary up in here in the standings.
Fuck.
Just me?
10 sixes.
No, because if you don't wake up early enough in the morning and you don't queue up, then you could be losing.
Oh,
Yeah.
like from the
Yeah.
game before, yeah.
Now it's getting real tight.
I mean, we normally don't.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
It's been happening recently.
Because everyone's
All the
queuing
time.
up.
We're trying to delay it. Usually we delay it till the next day. Like, it starts right at 11.
I don't know. I was one delaying and I end up winning something because of it.
I think I might call it chat. I need to do something in a couple hours. I love you guys. I'll be back
So,
later
yeah, guys,
for
later.
the FPL stream. Yeah, I'll be back later for the FPL stream. I love you all. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for all the subs, saws, and donos.
Ah,
Alors,
c'est bien,
on
ils ont
a-tu
les
une-
suivis, hein.
y a quelqu'un d'autre qui a une question? Il joue headshot en 1v... Il joue headshot en 1v1? Oh.
Oh, Sam, big Sam. Like the almost 1 million viewers, man. Let's go, boys.
Microphone muted.
Welcome, boys. Welcome. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sam.
User joined
Go
your
on.
channel. Microphone
Sam,
activated.
you did.
Sam,
you
how
did
do you
dope.
lose that
Sam,
game?
you did
Are you
dope.
I don't know. I'm pissed though, you see.
I'm actually, like,
Sam,
I've never
you-
been
you
this
did dope,
heated.
Sam.
I'm not kidding.
I
Like,
think you did dope,
I'm
Sam.
so heated off that game. Holy fuck, dude. 11-4 T-side over.
Go
How
on,
do you
man,
fucking
streaming.
lose this?
Oh, did you streaming? For real?
How do you fucking lose this, bro? You literally have to try your hardest to lose that game.
I tried my hardest.
To lose?
Nah, to win. I was fragging.
Were you? That's how you own it.
Yeah, I got it. I got the 45s every round.
Train it, yeah? Shit can't be serious. Surely not.
Yes.
I don't think we held B one time.
One time.
You're mad.
Yeah. Do you have any other
To be
questions?
fair, we did hold it at least once.
Oh, Sam was on B.
First of all,
Oh,
how do you even know you weren't even B? That's one. Second of all,
Cause one
you
round
did
I didn't
not-
play retake.
you did not hold. You guys did not hold B.
and that's Dre's that defend you.
First
Oh, I'm an
Oh,
A player with you,
monster.
bro.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Sam,
Yes.
you can't be doing that.
Come on, you better enjoy this host, cause I will never host you ever again.
Wait, what? Why?
I don't know. We lost a round to get 1 HP.
Why
Go
not?
Iman.
Sam? I would do
My
the same
God.
for you, homie. I would do
Go
the
Iman.
same for you, man.
750 balles, Guimond.
I know.
Guimon?
What's
What's
up?
Guimon?
Guimon.
Can I call you Guimon?
You can call me whatever. If you host me.
Only me. Only me though. You can't let anyone else call you that.
I got you.
Alright. Guimon.
Got you, man. If I lose this, I'm out. I'm not playing.
That's what I'm saying.
You lost first game, something? You're not playing
I
anymore?
want it, but
You're out
just don't
still.
want to play. I got things to do.
I feel you.
Scrims to be played.
T'as pas pick Pete?
Parce que je veux le go down avec toi, si on go down ensemble.
Mais c'est un chien. C'est comme ça que je parle tout le temps, dude.
Hey, Guimon.
What's up, what's up?
Nice for the
Yeah,
week.
by the way, c'est
Ouais,
ça
nice
qui
guy.
t'arrive ce matin, là? Passe
We got
là.
a M9 vanilla.
First pick over
Four.
Wardell. Allô?
What'd you say?
Ah, c'est tout le temps.
I'm not Videla, fam.
Ouais, c'était...
Ah, fait comme si je disais.
Bro, you gotta do something about your webcam.
Me?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I'm trying to look at your face, not what's behind you.
Okay, yeah. See what you mean there. But
Why
I'm
don't you
kinda...
stack like a bunch of things to your right, and then put your webcam.
I'm curious here. We've seen a bit of everything here today, and it hasn't been as exciting as I kind of want it to make it out to be, but maybe a nuke or something for a team like Renegades. Maybe something that's unique that's going to fly through.
I don't think we'll see a nuke, but to be honest, Big are always interesting in the map vetoes because they're a team that really tries to play off the fact that they try to get a map that put their opponents on a map they're uncomfortable on. You see Renegades taking out nuke
They say
there.
no.
Mirage is a map that obviously Renegades are quite good on. Renegades are going to pick up cash. Overpass for Big, which is a map that Renegades have played a little bit of here and there, but not so much with their newest iteration of this lineup. So that might be an interesting one to see how that necessarily goes. Then we're going to head on to Train as the last one, a map that both teams should be very comfortable on. So should be an interesting series. The question for me really is going to be whether Big can contest Renegades on a map like Cash. They should be ready for them. We know Big's played it a little bit in the past in some of their previous lineups, and then obviously Overpass might be a little bit of a struggle for Renegades if they're not able to contest Big on that map due to how many reps they've got with their new lineup in. That's a big question.
Yeah,
on a map like that.
We've already seen Cage tonight. We've already seen the possibilities, and this is going to be a very different team. You are looking at Renegades, another Australian squad, but the difference here is that they came through NA, 6th in NA there, and of course Big coming through EU. It's a very different story for them, very different climate, a different environment.
Oh, just a
Renegades.
higher level overall for that compared to the Oceanic region. But even Big coming third in the European, that's a big upset sort of placing for them
Big
because you're looking at teams and Navi who play in those EPL matches. All of the better teams who come through, you know, your domestic scenes.
Yep.
Or CyberZen, for example.
Yeah, it's the road to get here, the road to Odense. We begin again, Renegades and Big. This is an elimination match, a best of 3, starting here on Cache. It's Renegades pick, and they'll start on the CT side.
They will indeed. We're going to see 2 sets of utility out of Big, so Jacob's just getting his toes tickled a little bit by Nex. He's just spotting for anyone pushing mid in general, trying to see if anybody's pushing towards door or A main from the back of middle main there, seeing if anyone's trying to make their way to vent. They do get a lot of information, a lot of damage there onto Jacob. Looks like Big starting to adjust now, heading their way back towards that A side. They've got a decent amount of utility and a P250 on Tabson, so potential here for them to be able to smoke highway and maybe smoke the back of red. You can Molotov off fence or fork or even quad and get a pretty good position, and that flashbang's going to be really key. How effective is the flashbang going to be from Godby on these site players of Renegades? Because we see the Azur and Liaz are both playing around quad and fence, and you're going to have Grat coming in on the rotate without armor.
He's coming in fast, utilities out, the push is through, Liaz gets information down first, bit of damage onto Tabson, and Jacob's come through as well, but Liaz is still in this position, even though it's smoked off. The molly is going to hit absolutely no one. With the utility down and dusted, it's now for Renegades to hold on, but the rotation here from Big.
Yeah, so they've heard a lot of CTs on that bomb site. They don't want anything to do with that. They've called the rotation from Renegades. Now they're going through middle. Will they split checker, though, or will they go highway? They're losing a lot of players with these rotations, so CT's getting a lot of action in, and it's into the B site, Jake.
Yeah, 2 members already down there, Pilling. And Tabson and Smooger drop fast. They try to disrupt that flow, but 15 seconds now, and JKS still onside here. The push through doesn't end up working out. Jacob has a perfect angle too. Goppy now tries to hold strong, but in the end, it's Renegades there with 3 people left alive that take the first round.
Yeah, unfortunately there, I mean, Big, they did a decent job heading over towards that A area, and the thing is that they saw so many CTs there that they weren't confident taking that site fight, but unfortunately, the rotations around is what really cost them. They lost 2 players before they even made it anywhere near some kind of bomb site fight, you know, apart from behind that quad smoke.
Yep.
I think it would have been a more successful round if maybe they threw the smoke on highway and Goppy used his flash through that quad smoke. The CTs were in pretty open positions where they could have got white, but hindsight's 2020, you know, we watch it from the third person. Could be a completely different thing in the mind of Big. It's going to be a B main push from Renegades. JKS looking to farm up some money potentially here. Liaz the same. Just going to try and get as many $600 in the bank account as possible.
We saw from yesterday, Big like to surprise their opponents. They like to push out very aggressively, get what they can. Of course, this round, you get more of the same. It's only Smooger who walked away with Azur. Jacob finds a final one, only 1 gun down.
So that's beautiful. I mean, Grat's been able to pick up that M4. He only had a pistol, I think, in the last round, anti-eco, so that's pretty much best case scenario. They don't even lose the 1 gun. They just, you know, upgrade from whatever Grat had, if he had anything at all. Wasn't keeping an eye on that one too closely. And they're going to head straight back into this one, so not too much loss there for Renegades. Maybe 3 to 4k, maybe 5k at most. And now we're going to be heading into the bye round. Big have a pretty decent amount of utility. Not all of the flashes they might want in the world. It's going to be progression, smoke, and flash over towards B here from Big, but they're not going to put too much pressure on. Vent boost from Renegade, and Big should be reasonably aware of that as being a possibility, especially with this Molotov being thrown out. The question is, what's the play here for Big? Because they have expended utility towards B to keep Renegades guessing, potentially. And now, will they go take mid control? They don't have any control of A main. They do the flash over the top, but as it punishes...
Push through, that quick early frag. Tabson drops as well, next. And JKS finds another. 2 early kills onto Big. Renegades holding strong in the start of these rounds.
It feels like Big, they're gathering information and trying to read the utility usage of Renegades and trying to go to different parts of the map. But the players, even though they are potentially making correct decisions in terms of numbers, the players from Renegades are so good at picking people as they try to take map pressure. In the pistol, we saw it in that round in particular. You know, just that one player on Highway or from Z is so good at being able to just pick one of these big T players before they can even make it towards whatever their goal is for that round. See if that continues being a factor pretty early on in the piece here. This B main push from JKS, so is an absolute killer.
Jacob holding with the FAMAS. Again, information being spotted across. Big making the push through, but the smokes and mollies out here. Taking the perfect position. JKS coming in for the flank. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but it's only MP5 that goes down. Congrats here too if they decide to push in, but Big have 15 seconds left. They have to make a move. They'll smoke off tree room, but Grat gets it through the smoke. Checkers, no problem there as well. Renegades, that's their third.
That's absolutely beautiful from Renegades as well, because, you know, they're up 4-2 at that point in terms of the numbers. And Big, you know, they've got the checker control. It's probably going to be a Renegades round, but the question really relies on how many players do Renegades lose closing that one out, and they kept all of their guns up, which is really going to help boost their economy later. You see far too many times, you know, in a lot of these CS matches where someone gets a little over anxious, someone peaks a little bit too much, and what could have been a 4-0 win ends up being a 2-0, 1-0 win. It's a lot more guns invested. You're spending, you know, 6 to 12k in terms of utility and weapons and armor back into the round that you were going to win anyway. So it's good to see Renegades close that one out nice and cleanly. And now Big will be on an eco. More opportunity for Renegades to keep their money nice and high.
There's nothing done there to Grat.
Big so far been playing very, very reactive. It's going to be interesting to see if they, you know, like you mentioned before, they were taking initiative a lot. They were going for some of those fast pushes before yesterday. Be interesting if they start to change their approach.
Well, very different situations there for Big yesterday. Going up against Renegades. You got to prepare. I think it's just going to go to show. Whoever takes away this series has got a tough road ahead of them. Only wins here. But now spotting out mid. That's next. We'll just seed off of Highway. Tabson will push through. Not taking the challenge there with the P250, and Tabson going down to Azza. To push through again. He's been left for the last moment. 35 seconds. Clean up Bruce here through the door. Grat for the final.
It's really interesting to see Renegades actually giving so much respect to the big pistols because, you know, yesterday you see them play an underdog opponent like CyberZen. They're just pushing bracket. They're getting rounds over with. They're playing very individualistic. Today, it's the complete opposite. They're going up against Big. They're really relying on these crossfires. They're trying to close out these rounds cleanly. It's good. It's really, really good to see. And you can see their money's cleanly benefiting from it. You know, 5k on JKS. Everyone else has got 6 to 8. It's going to be a really strong start from the half, and on a map like Cash, which is a bit, you know, more biased towards the T side, you really need that CT money rolling. They could get off to a really good start here.
Good flush out as well. That stops any semblance of push. Goldby has to get through the molly, which eventually burns out. HE out too. Good utility onto Azza. A bit of damage first down to the backside as well. Tizian can't find the spray through the door. No move yet from Big, but they've done a bit of utility damage.
Yeah, completely different setup from Big here this time around. You know, they're putting a lot more pressure over towards A. Last time, they had 3 towards B main. They tried to throw out some utility towards Checker, and then they ended up rotating around to mid where they got picked this time. A lot more pressure over towards A. They're just trying to test Renegades, different angles, different sites, see what might have a little bit more weakness than other.
Big through the smoke in main, but meanwhile, that grenade, it hurts Tizian a little bit too much.
He's gathered a lot of info, and you're seeing Big again playing quite reactively. They've seen a lot of players towards this A-bomb side. They're going to react and head towards that middle area where Jacob's playing. But Azza, he's rotated around. He's going to drop the molly on the boost. Beautiful timing for that. 43 seconds to go, and Big have been denied going for that mid boost. That's going to completely change up their plan, or at least put a little bit of a stopper on it. And they might not have enough time to check all these close angles like Jacob's playing in properly.
30 seconds remaining, and Azza holds mid. There's no strength at the moment for Big. The jump down, they have to make a move. Jacob, yeah, doesn't get it. There's 2 quick kills on the side. Azza drops 2 with the early damage from utility. And left in a 5v3, but 20 seconds to go and time on Renegade's side. Liaz still holding this angle. Grat through the smoke as well on highway. They do get it sprayed off, and that's important. Renegades drop another. Down to JKS. 5 seconds left remaining through the smoke. They will get the plant down here. But JKS now has to do the impossible. Drops the gun, but picks it up not in time. And that's the first round for Big.
I feel like Tabson got away with absolute murder, jumping off the boost like that and just one-beating Jacob in midair. Don't know how many times you're going to get a clean break like that. I felt like that was going to be Renegade's round through and through, but Big just checking all the angles, going through the protocol of how they take mid despite being disrupted by the Molotov. Cool, calm and collected. Smooth is posted on that highway position. Tabson clears out under boost, and from there it's all a formality as long as they just go in together and they make sure that they trade out. Clock was running very low, but they keep it nice and cool, Jake.
Momentum maybe on the side of Big now. Molly will be smoked out once again. They're all pushed up towards this boost, and a bit of damage over to JKS. It's one member of Renegades down again. Now, Jacob and Azza have pushed mid with the flash through as well. Everyone's mid though on the side of Big. They just found 3 more. Or 2, sorry, but there's 2 left. And Renegades, not sure what happened here again.
I mean, it's a complete change up from Big. They just completely changed to something that's, you know, they've been playing quite reactively. They've been changing up their positioning based on the information that they gain. You know, an example of that, Tizian spotting door, and then they rotate around to mid. But this time, it's a completely different look. They've given Renegades 3 different looks. They had the 3-1-1 towards B and then the 1-1-3 towards A that they did in the other 2 gun rounds. And now this time they go for a very assertive mid push with pretty much all of their players and very little pressure on the extremities. And they use so much utility that puts a lot of those Renegades players playing in those middle positions under a lot of pressure. Takes a lot of health away from them, and let's just watch out their positions a little bit more. That's a great trade from Big. They're not dropping any guns here. They're just trying to take their time, make sure they dot all their I's and cross their T's, close out this round nice and clean. They don't want Grat holding onto that AWP either. So despite a really strong start on the CT economy for Renegades, it's starting to wane a little bit after these 2 clean gun rounds from Big.
Gobby wants to be the disruptor here as well. Grat backing into that man. No Gobs there. And he gets it through. Another peek there, finds a second. Important that Grat does hold on to this AWP. The third's there too. Now, talk about disrupting flow. It won't mean too much in the end for Big. Call it a pain in the ass, if you will.
It's good positional play from Grat. He's taking a lot of money away from Big, which is going to be less impactful on the T side than it is for the CT side of Renegades. But if Renegades are going to start to make a little bit more of a run into this half than just the 4 rounds and aren't going to suffer too much economically from this, you should see they should be able to buy into this next one. JKS is the only one who's really going to suffer a huge amount in terms of what he can and can't buy. Then those kills are going to be very impactful if Renegades are able to string 2 gun rounds together, because it's going to force Big on an eco, potentially.
Good reactions here from Grat. And finding that 3rd member, Tabson, in heaven. Means in the long haul, you know, maybe a little bit less for Big, but will depend on this round. UMP for JKS.
Yeah, regardless of who comes away with this one, it's going to be a lot of pressure on the opponent's economy. Especially if it's a close one, you might start to see some of those forces coming out in the close scenarios. This time another different look. It's going to be an execute towards A from Big. A lot of pressure on Liaz here. Az is going to have a great counter flash from Highway as well. Jacob, he's got a flash too.
There's a push out. Liaz drops immediately and still boosted up here. Az up. Needed that trade kill. Jacob so close here. Does get the head of Gobby, who just peeks out. But they're going to have to play retake here. It's a 3 versus 3. Sitting over at Truck Rat with the AWP. Takes a bit of utility damage once again. Now playing for time. Renegades. They go.
difficult retake. Grad's got the kit though, so they can take a little bit longer. I don't know how they're going to be able to go on this one, especially if Smooth is going to pick Grad there.
To the 3v2. And from this point, Renegades are just going to back off. JK is playing so close as well. But another round going over to Big. And JK does find Tapson, picks his way back in. Az is here too. So still taking guns out of the hand of Big, but they're getting the rounds on the board here, Billy. 4 and 3.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see if Renegades chooses to buy up into this one, because that was a lot of economic pressure on Big. They are indeed. They're going to drop over an AWP to Grat. He's going to get his hands on one. And we'll see.
Why not have a pause?
The other two haven't. Yeah, I mean, it's a weird economical situation. Got to weigh up the pros and cons and exactly how much you can buy and what you can buy. It's always a little bit confusing. If you rush it, you always can look back at this demo when you rush it and go look back at it later. You always can think, why didn't I buy this or that? This would have been better in this scenario. So it's good to have a few extra seconds to think about it. That A hit from Big though, another completely different look. We've seen 4 completely different gun rounds, and that just speaks to the tactical prowess of a team like Big. They have so many different looks on Renegade's map pick, in fact, that they can give them, and the pacing of that execute was so beautiful up against what Renegades were working with, because they only had a handful of flashes, 1 or 2 on each player. And Big, they just waited. They waited in A main after throwing the smokes, and the counter flashes came out pretty quickly after the smokes were thrown by Big, and then there was nothing to work with for Renegades from that point. And when Big came later on into the bomb site, about half the way through the smokes lifespan, it worked out beautifully. They didn't really have much utility to be able to help Liaz, and he got traded very quickly.
Good to see that Big's ability to adapt here in this first map has come so quickly. The peak round from Grat again, Smooya winning these 1v1 aim battles with the AWP. That's the opening frag for Big once again. Is it a rinse and repeat round? Well, A seems to be the slow push. But only one member at the moment.
Smooth's just grabbing the AWP out the A main smoke and throwing it away. They don't want Renegades to have that. They don't want it to have it back.